So motion sickness is still a thing in VR, and it partly it's a technical problem because when you do a phone-based setup with crappy lenses and a phone that's actually doesn't keep up with the frame rate, and you go into a roller coaster, then probably 90% of the participants will get dizzy and will start to feel sick in a while. And if you have if you have a good VR headset and you have a calm environment, then perhaps a few percent gets some motion sickness. And it's partly it's technical, and partly it's a problem where some people will be more vulnerable to it. From my own experience, that's really is one I can say that you do get used to it a bit. Your brains. My brains at least got used to it a bit more, but still, when I go into a roller coaster or something where you have to move, sometimes I still get motion sickness. Sometimes. That's one big drawback which we should really consider. And a second thing, I guess, is it's still really. People are not really familiar with the technology yet, and that might be one of the biggest limitations. That whenever you want to use VR in your lessons, well, perhaps let's say you're a teacher, you want to start using VR in your lessons, and you're a geography teacher, and you want to bring students to a volcano, and then your first lesson, and people, when all your students, when half of your students never had a VR headset on. They will probably be walking around with the headset and seeing what they can and cannot do, and they're not really focusing on the learning material. It's definitely a thing. People are just getting used to technology. It's like doing a workshop in Excel, and people don't really have a clue how to use a mouse. That just takes up a lot of our cognitive resources to just get the hang of what's going on, you have different user experiences as well, so you have to sort of get used to that as a user. And that's also, that's for when we're looking at students, but also when you're looking at teachers. The biggest, say you want to start with VR as an educational institution, university, or a training company. And your teachers also have to know how to use the technology and what kind of things can go wrong. Also, when looking at the costs of the whole innovation, probably buying the headsets isn't the most expensive part. It's training your staff to feel comfortable with the technology and to know what is and isn't possible, and to make them comfortable enough to actually give training themselves or teach with these headsets. The fact that many people still have never worn a proper VR headset yet, or they have very little experience in this. That's really a drawback for innovation to happen. And there's a really principal thing holding back the whole spread of the innovation, because you really have to wear a headset to really experience it, right? Somebody, you want VR for education to happen. First they need to wear a headset and just experience what it's like. Then they have to make the step. This could be something for training or educational purposes as well. And then the step. This could be something for our educational system. Those are quite a few steps to go through, and it really depends on wearing a headset yourself. So somebody has to put on a headset on your face. And that's a limitation in the spread, I guess.